Hi, so this is a video for the MTD LAWNFLITE 603RT. The symptoms were that it would drive forward, but it would be juddery. The engine was fine, it was just juddering along. In reverse, it was absolutely fine, and that's the key issue here. I'm going to try and put a video on to sort of show it, although I was riding the tractor, so I'm not sure how obvious it is. But the key thing is, works fine in reverse, but when you drive forward, it judders all over the place, which implies there's an issue in the gearbox.
Okay, so I've devised a system to be able to support the lawnmower while I get the gearbox out. So I've loosened the bolts that hold the wheels in place with it down, and then I'm going to prop it up on these bits of wood so I can pull the wheels off, and that should allow me just get some bits of metal through here. And I'm using this bracket here that seems to be strong enough to be able to support the mower. I haven't got a jack on me, and I wouldn't know where I'd jack from, to be honest, because it all looks plastic underneath. But hopefully this should work, and this isn't a wasted effort. Okay, so part one complete. I've managed to get the wheels off, and it looks to be reasonably secure using these bits of wood just to hold it up. So I should be able to undo all of the bolts that hold the gearbox to the chassis, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So the first thing I've removed is a split pin that was holding the gear stick, well, connects the gear stick to the gearbox, which was just in here. So I've removed that, and then I'm going to have a go at removing these two nuts here and seeing what else is holding this thing in place. Okay, so that's these longer bolts, that's the pedal side, that have come out now, and there were shorter ones, same place but the other side. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to take the cutting deck off because I can feel there's some bolts behind here, I think, yeah, down there, connecting in. So it looks like to take the cutting deck off. There's a split pin there, obviously one on the other side, and it looks like it just hooks on at the front here, so I'm hoping that's all it is that holds it in. Obviously I have to take the fan belt, is it? Drive belt, whatever it's called, off this off here as well to get it out. So same thing the other side, more or less. Little pin there that holds this side, and then again it's going to hook down there. So hopefully after this one here, we'll be able to take the actual cutting deck off, and that'll give me access to the remaining bolts to get the gearbox out. Okay, so that's the cutting deck has dropped down. I've just had to release this belt here from a wheel in there, and it looks like the only thing holding it in, well, stopping it from pulling out now, is this here, which is the mechanism that actually drops the lever and starts the blades cutting. So I'll just probably release it just here, and then the whole thing should pull out, hopefully, and then I'll be able to get the rest of this gearbox out, hopefully. Or I might just be trashing a machine, but it wasn't working anyway, so we're not losing anything. Whew, that's the cutting deck out the way. It was just this section here was just held on by a bit of elastic hanging down here, so I just had to unclip that since all the bolts rather had rusted. So now hopefully, this is a bit of a dodgy bit, this is where hopefully these bits of wood hold up, because I need to get under and work out what's still holding the gearbox to the machine. And I can see underneath there's obviously 1, 2 there. We've done those, so certainly this side anyway, it just seems to be these two, but possibly there's something else the other side. Gowny weld, we will see. Actually I can feel one already, there's one under there as well, but we'll have a look anyway and find out. Okay, so that's those two bolts released here, and it's just dropped down, so I think it's just held in by this side now. So onto that side and have a look, see where the bolts are that side. So we're in through the back of the machine now, and going underneath I can see two, where are we? 2 bolts there and there. So, nut there. I think if I get rid of those 2, possibly there's some at the top as well. Actually, looking, I might have to remove the battery, which is what I should have done anyway, to be fair, and had a look underneath where the battery is. I suspect there's 1 or 2 bolts in there as well, but hopefully very nearly get this thing off. Fingers crossed. Looking through the back of the machine, it looks like the whole assembly has just been held in by these 2 bolts in here, sort of this sort of metal shielding here from the battery compartment, and the little tow bar attachment as well, but that seems to be the only thing holding it in place. I'm going to try and undo those 2 there, and hopefully the thing will just drop out finally. Okay, finally got it to drop down. Just going to take off these 2 here to release the belt here so I can get the whole thing out and have a look. Okay, finally got the gear assembly out, and there's now loads and loads of bolts holding the whole thing together. So I guess the idea now is to try and open it up and just see if we can see what's wrong inside it. So 16 or so bolts off, and we've got the gearbox open, and we can see the 2 gears here. One of them is forward, one of them is reverse, and I'm just going to cut the video and try to work out which one's which. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Okay, got the gearbox open, and it's this bit here that your gear lever pushes to engage either this gear or this gear. And what I've done, I can't see anything obviously wrong with either of the gears or the mechanism in the middle, but since reverse was working fine and forward wasn't, I've just swapped the 2 gears around and also changed the cog in the middle around, so that everything hopefully works. If you're doing it yourself, just a bit of a warning, there's brake pads down here. This is the disc that the brake pads rub against, and they very easily fall out, so obviously make sure they're back in again, otherwise you'll have a bit of an issue trying to stop the thing. Anyway, that's all done now, so I'm going to put it all back together again, and probably find it won't work. But we can live in hope, can't we? Oh, it's been a long afternoon, but we now have it back together again, so fingers crossed it actually works. Just got to reconnect the battery and just tighten up the wheel nuts. Fingers crossed.
Okay, best result possible. I was expecting the lawnmower to judder in reverse, but actually move wood properly in forward, given that I swapped the 2 gears round, but magically it seems to work brilliantly both in forward and reverse now, as you can see. So a great saving there, given that a new gearbox is £500, and well worth the afternoon taking it apart. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you found this video useful if you've experienced the same problem with your machine.